You know what it is, It's episode number
8.
Deep.Organic.Phuckery. You know I'm your boy Linky Links.
And I'm Chris Strikes. I'm back. I was away for a little bit, but I'm back.
Yeah.
And this is the man, Damion.
Jesus Christ.
And it's Alii Berryy.
And we're gonna know we have a special guest co-host, you know what I mean, her second time on Deep.Organic.Phuckery. Alii Berryy, aka Alianja, aka Rasta Ali.
Yeah, Ali Mali.
Ali Mali.
I have a question, Alii Berryy.
Oh, God. Yeah.
You don't feel the eyelash?
It's
It's falling off.
But I just take it off for a while ago,
No,
Damion.
there's
One more
Can
come
I
up.
take it?
No, leave it.
Jesus
Alii. Leave
Putting the
it.
girl on blast.
Not
Like,
him trying to delash
her
me.
blast.
Wait,
No,
hold
but
on.
hold on. Is it an uncomfortable thing when you guys wear it?
No,
No,
leave
we
it
can't
alone.
feel it.
You can't feel it?
All need to come off. We just have to see it to come down and just take it off.
No, I think you guys are just used to it because that looks really uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to take it off? Take it off.
No, I can't. It's
Look like you want to wear it.
No, I do not want to wear it.
But I don't know what kind of introduction this.
All right, listen, you know what I mean? I want to thank you guys again, you know what I mean, for tuning in, you know what I mean? I appreciate the support so far. You know the thing. Chris Strikes, you're back, brother.
I'm back.
How does
back.
it feel to be back?
Feels great. I was traveling.
Where were you? Tell the fans, the audience, where you were.
I was in France, in La Rochelle, France, for a documentary conference, Sunny Side of the Dock.
That's on rich.
And I was up north as well too, in Magnetawan, I think the town is called, cottage country. So now I'm back in the 6.
In the 6. And you know what? Since you're back in the 6, I wanted to say this last week, but I have to say it this week. Ali, I want to talk to him. I want to see my brother over there.
Bro.
Chris, I was going to say it to you, but I wanted to do it when we're live.
Stop
I'm
it.
proud of you.
Stop
This
it.
is his second week in
Stop
actually
it.
not wearing the shorts.
Oh, I thought this was the first week.
No.
But- okay.
No, last week he was in a green track pants in a green. I'm proud of you, brother.
I
Keep
think
it up.
when the NBA season is done.
Yes.
Because all the shorts are NBA shorts.
To be honest, there's only so many NBA shorts you can have.
Yeah.
They're pricey.
So the brother had the price that now I'm for it. Ali, you okay over there? What are you drinking?
My Iron Man, some appleton, you know?
Yeah. All right. So big guy,
And a rum
what's
chat.
good? This what's good for this week? Talk to us.
Listen, I wasn't even on social media. I was just scrolling through my
You
YouTube.
don't have a social media account, so stop this.
I don't.
Exactly. So don't tell anybody.
I was scrolling on my YouTube.
Yeah.
It's not social media though.
I guess
No?
it's
Kind
kind
of.
of count.
No,
Yeah.
I have YouTube and I have WhatsApp. That counts.
Oh my God.
That's social media, no?
Okay.
I love Sandy's reaction in the background.
It's not social media.
Girl and.
It is.
You know what? We work with you.
Okay, so I have 2 social media accounts. I have WhatsApp and I have
YouTube.
thing. Right. So I'm going to my YouTube.
Right.
And I saw something about Keke Palmer,
Okay.
the actress.
Oh, Keke.
And Keke's one of my favorite actually. I like her from Akil and the Bee. Did you watch that movie?
No.
Yeah, the
Dope
spelling
movie.
bee.
Yeah, dope movie. Apparently, her baby daddy is cussing with her because she did something wrong. Now, I don't know
She
if you
did
guys
something
can
wrong to
expound-
him.
I don't know if you guys can expound on it, but I found it to be very interesting. Where apparently she wore some dress and it was inappropriate for her being a mom, and he was mad because she shouldn't have done that because as a mom you're supposed to set example and so forth and so on. And I thought that was hilarious.
You thought that was hilarious? Jesus.
First of all, isn't that your baby's mom? Can you text her?
That's the thing that a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are like, "Why did you bring this to social media?" Like that's a conversation you could have in the household, but like
It sounds like
He's hurt.
What are we living in? Like what time are we living in where people think that's you can have your right? Because maybe he's right. Maybe she's dressing inappropriately. Who knows? Who knows what they talk about in their
But you
household?
saw it, didn't you?
Huh?
You just saw the outfit?
Yeah, but I'm not her baby daddy.
No, but what do you think? Would you allow your woman to look like that?
Of course.
And have Usher?
But you know me.
Oh.
For me, I believe in freedom of expression. So if I like someone and I decide she's gonna be my woman or whatever, that means I respect how she thinks. So however she presents herself, I will respect it because I've already.
You're not gonna like it look, even if you think
But
it's
at
too
that
much
point,
out there.
but at that point, we're not gonna be talking about what I like and what, because we already went through that, because my vetting period, I'm gonna see. No, I'm telling you, it's true. You're dating someone to see if you fundamentally you guys have similar.
That's facts.
Right. So by the time you get to her dressing, you'll be like, okay, I already like you. I know what you're about. So why, if she wears something see-through, you know, it's a conversation we can have, and then she can tell me why she's wearing it or whatever. Cool, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, though, this is important to know. It's not about me. It's about her. She's the one dressing. So if she feels comfortable doing that, go ahead and do it. But we can have a conversation around it.
Yeah, but brother, you have to remember, a woman is a representation of her man, and a man is a representation.
No, she's not.
Yes.
Stop it.
Yes, whether you believe it or not. Yes.
Everybody, the woman is an autonomous being.
Yes.
She's who she is. She's a separate person from you. She's an individual. It's
okay.
Right? It's not an extension of you. If you want to make
it is.
If you want to make it that means it goes both ways.
Of course. But I just said that. She's a representation of you and you're a representation of her.
Right. But what about when you're wearing something that you don't like?
We have a conversation.
Are you truly going to have a conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think.
Remember you said that.
I think.
Remember you said that.
Of course.
I think the thing is not even so much about like representation of each other. It's just a matter of, why are you airing out your dirty laundry on social media like that? So unnecessary. Yeah. That's the main
Ali, as a
thing.
woman, you're the only woman on the podcast. I'll fix her locks. It wash?
You know, some can't bother with him though. But my take on it is, women struggle with postpartum depression and quote unquote their mom bodies. So the fact that Keke is embracing hers, she's embracing her mom body and she look good. I don't think, I feel like in a sense it play upon him insecurity, because him knows the girl look good, and because Usher Raymond is singing
Usher Raymond the fourth
to his lady. Him not like that.
No, Usher,
I feel like that shiver him timbers a little bit.
Usher, you're wicked.
But I just don't understand the time that we're in, where people think it's appropriate for you to be expressing yourself socially. Like, why couldn't you just have that conversation with her? I'm not understanding.
He's looking attention. The attention that Keke got him on to look a piece of it.
Yo, listen. I don't think he's looking attention. He probably went about it the wrong way, but the bigger picture is her knowing that she's in a relationship. The outfit is not that bad.
No, it's not. No, him look attention because him go on social media with it.
The bigger
you
picture.
have a man grinding up on you like that, and you have a man at home.
What grinding? What grinding?
Usher, I would dance with that.
He's a performer. He's a performer.
So wait, hold on.
See
How is that
part.
any different than Carnival? If married women or women that are
That's
mothers.
still wrong.
No, it's not. How is that wrong?
What are you talking about?
When
That's
have we,
still wrong.
When have we ever said that about women
This
at
guy's
Carnival?
a house dictator. Eh?
He's
a house
When have we
dictator.
ever said that about
That's
women in Carnival?
Personally,
that's still
if
wrong.
I'm talking to
This guy got
somebody,
talking
nobody
about
can dance by your carnival still. I'm sorry.
What?
Oh, you mean?
I'm sorry.
Oh, you mean?
Wow.
Talk up Ali Anja.
And this is where.
So this can bring in the Chance situation, because remember Chance was in Jamaica not too long ago at Carnival this year, and some girl was dancing on him, and that became a whole conversation as well too. So like now we have a male example and a female example that we could talk about if we're gonna say that Carnival is wrong.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay,
I want you to see they chastise Chance.
That is true.
And everyone
that
is picking up for Keke Palmer.
No, because they're talking about the outfit.
Here we go. The outfit, you're right, but
They're talking about
It's
the
not
outfit.
the same thing.
But they weren't grinding on each other. He was just singing to her.
So, Linky, you said the bigger issue,
the bigger picture.
the bigger picture is the fact that baby's daddy and all that. The bigger picture is actually the fact that he's bringing that out to the public.
Exactly.
That's the bigger picture. Why can't you talk to her at home? Or do they live together?
That did I wonder if
Even
he
if
never
they
see her
don't,
when he
even if they don't, he has her
Text
number.
her on her phone,
Yeah.
call her on her phone, whatever
Yeah.
it is. Why are you making other people see this conversation?
He's
To me, that's
seeking
weird.
attention.
That's weird.
No.
That's the
No,
bigger
he must
picture.
seek attention.
What kind of attention he must seek? What?
Just
Public-
attention. Just
public
attention.
attention.
Attention is
He's
the
not a
biggest
soldier.
currency right now.
He's not a soldier. He's not seeking no attention.
He's seeking
The man
attention.
feels- It feels some type out here. I'm a support you. Speak
goodness.
right now. If I say Astacia sing an Usher song, a problem. I tell you that right
So
now.
wait, Linky, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Astacia,
Say-
you're in trouble.
An artist comes here and you know him sing to Astacia. Would you then go on social media? Why him a sing to my wife? Or why my wife a condone this? Would you go on social media with that?
He never said.
No.
why he was singing to her.
Would
He said
would
the
you
outfit.
go? Would you go? Okay.
outfit.
Say you have a problem with her outfit as well. My point is, would you go on social media blasting
No,
her?
first and foremost, let me answer your question. First and foremost, should I leave out of the house like that without my approval?
Without
Wow.
your approval?
Yes.
Wow.
This guy's a
Wow.
host. Like, what?
100%.
So, okay.
She's
Wow.
not leaving out the house without my approval. Argument done.
Listen.
Argument done. But you know,
Astacia,
the
if you
thing
want to
with me,
talk,
well, not the,
Astacia, if you want to talk at any point, I'm here. I'm here to support.
the thing with me and Astacia is that I was blessed enough that she would not wear certain outfit if I'm not there.
Linky, even if she does, it's not you. You don't dictate
No,
what
she
wears.
don't, bro. Listen, we are a team. So if she's going out again, my relationship different. We're together for 17 years. If she's going out, she said, "Babes, all of me are Zimbabwe." She try it on. "Babes, what you think about this?" Blah blah blah. Okay, no, try the next one. All right, that one the connect.
What?
Likewise, myself.
That is
if me
crazy.
I'm here host an event, babes, I'm going to go to the event. What you think? She said, "No, we're that with that, do that." All right, boom, we're good, we're gone.
But what if you like something that you put on and she
A
says
lot of
no?
things, a whole lot of time I like things I want to wear, and she said, "No, babe, that don't look good
And you
to
took
me."
it off?
Of course.
So what I'll say to that,
Of course.
what I'll say to that is because that sounds like an agreement that you and your wife have, and you can't expect that from every relationship, right?
No, I don't expect nothing from my speak on from my personal experience.
But Chris, hold on, let's kind of unpack this a little. bit.
Unpack. Hold on, I'm take it off. I love it.
Let's unpack
I
this a
won't
little bit. I'm hearing opinion on my outfit versus I'm dictating what you wear.
Exactly.
So which is it?
No, you're
So
taking
let
the
me
dictation.
differentiate. Let me
You're on the
differentiate.
dictation.
But let me differentiate.
You're Kansas, you know. You like Dick from Kansas.
Pause.
All right.
Hold on.
That was weird.
Yeah. How did
That was-
Why?
There's a dictatorship.
So just so you know, there's a backstory.
But-
Raptors has a rookie. His name is Grady Dick.
What is his name?
Grady Dick.
But you say
But
like
you
Dick
said
from-
you like Dick.
from yeah. All right.
Grady Dick from Kansas. Yes. I
No, but
like,
you-
I like Grady Dick from Kansas.
You said you like Dick from Kansas.
Yeah, Dick, his last name is Dick.
Okay, all right. So back to your quote
Go
unquote
now.
dictatorship.
So what, nobody's laughing. Everybody's dry right here. You see that?
Chris,
Anyway, so let's get back to the point. Let's get back to the point.
Chris, what's up with that look, bro? I can't bother.
Because you're weird, bro. Anyways, so
Oh my god.
if you're dictating to your wife or to your spouse, wife or husband or whatever, what to wear, that's a completely different conversation than if you're asking for opinion. How do I look, babe? Okay, cool, no problem. You look good. You don't look good. Take that off. Maybe try wearing without a hat. Whatever. Those are fine, normal things. But to say she can't wear this because you disapprove of it, that sounds a little bit different. That's hitting different.
That's
No,
controlling.
That's for you, brother.
That's
But
controlling.
is that what you're saying?
That's what no.
Are you talking about opinion? You're getting her opinion on your outfit? Or are you talking about you dictate
Both.
what she wears?
Both and ship.
And you're saying it proudly.
Of course.
Woman, be careful.
Of course.
Be careful.
Of course. Ladies.
Nobody can dictate what me wear.
Ladies.
I listen to you if you don't like what I wear.
Exactly.
I might tweak it a little bit, but I must take it off. Because
Anyways,
me
your
like
question
it.
Your question was, do I think her outfit was inappropriate? It depends. It depends on
Why it depends.
because I don't know her. We're not in a relationship. I don't know what's going on with her. So it depends. To me, looking from the outside, it seems normal to me. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's okay. She can wear whatever she feels comfortable with. And I think Ali made a really good point about being proud of your body and all that. That's a really good point. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe that's
they
what she's
were-
going through.
Yeah, that's what they were saying too.
Right.
She was so happy being a mom and know her body is and
Yeah, so I don't mind that at all. But my main issue with the whole thing, like, listen, they're in a relationship. When people are on pillows, they talk all kinds of stuff. I don't know. But my issue is why do I gotta hear it? I don't need to be
Exactly.
hearing this.
But that part,
Text her, talk
that
to her on
part,
the
I
phone.
agree with
That's
you,
my
brother.
issue.
I think he should have took up his phone, Chris,
Right.
and give her. a
So
call
that part
and
of
say,
that part to me is just straight fucking.
And if he wants a complete say in what Keke wears, him for put a ring on it, and then maybe she'll listen
I
to
don't.
him.
My
Anyways, we're not gonna get into that.
Oh my god.
We're not gonna get into that.
Why do you got to be married to tell to?
No, we're not gonna get into that.
I don't know. Is that marriage toxicity? Is that the new thing? Marriage toxicity?
If you want her for just different, maybe buy her where you want to see her, you know.
Which is right.
Because if you don't like what she wear and you want to change her wardrobe, give her your credit
Maybe
card.
he did buy something. But even then, he shouldn't be saying that in public.
Yeah, I'm not like that. Mama
No
want
matter
baby.
what, doesn't matter how you take it. Whatever, he just gave away his whole rights by just bringing it out like that. Like, why you need to do that? Yo, how old is this guy? Is he?
I have
is he in
I have
his
no
20s?
idea. I have no idea.
No, the only
Kid.
reason why I'm mention the buying of the outfits because maybe because I'm young, I tend to dress more revealing or whatever.
Is
So,
that a young thing?
oh God.
And
But
goes
then
back to what
again,
the baby father was saying. You're a mom. You're old. Don't dress like that. But go on.
well, she's not old.
not old.
She's young.
And even if you're older, so what? If you want to reveal, so what?
Yeah, it's true. But no,
Hey, guys,
a man
Stop this right now.
that I was talking
Just
to,
stop.
he said to me when
A
other
man
men
that
see
you're
me.
talking to, you're dating right now?
I think she used the word was, past tense.
Okay, was.
Exactly,
Okay.
and
Thank
the
you,
and
thank
the
you,
was
Chris.
the
Thank you,
was
Chris.
the was could be no or then, but I'm not gonna really feed into that.
Exactly. You
I
don't have to
just say
reveal
was
anything. You don't have to
exactly
reveal anything.
exactly. Linky has set up him can't set me up.
Exactly.
So yes, someone that I was talking to, he said to me that when other men see me, he doesn't want them. He want them for basically undress me with their eyes, not them. Me just show everything already.
Okay. That's a
So
good point.
then he said, I'm going to get you outfits that I want to see you in. And they were like more chic and feminine and, womanly like. And so I like it. So, maybe if him, I don't know. I just...
You don't know what you want.
No, I like...
But you see,
No,
the
but
problem
the
with
thing
that-
is, he didn't come off like how Keke's baby father did.
Right.
Him sit me down and talk to me, and then we understand each other, come to an understanding, and then me take
like
telling.
the clothes them for free.
That's the only way I'd be submissive. Get closer for as
But
a good
see,
girl, as I should.
I just don't understand this idea that men feel like they can tell women how to be.
Bro, you keep
Exactly.
saying, bro.
I just
you
don't
keep
Yes.
understand it.
saying, tell
Because,
them, bro.
because it's
That's
because
you.
that's what's
You-
happening. Because that's
Your
what's
love
happening.
dictates.
Bro.
If someone, okay, listen, okay, this is what I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
If I'm dating a girl, right, and on date one, as a matter of fact, that's something I wanted to talk about too. I'll talk about that next.
Getting
I wanna
into our
touch on
topic?
that.
All right.
So I was in the barbershop and we were having a conversation. It'd be funny. So if I'm dating a girl, right, and the first date, she wears something revealing, right? Okay, cool. It's not my cup of tea. I'll probably give her another date or so. Let's see I can't tell her what to do, but I'll watch. I'll observe. Second day she comes, she wears something revealing again. I don't know if date 2, if I can have this conversation with her, because she's an individual. She can do whatever she wants to do. But if it's not my cup of tea, why am I going to date 3 and date 4 and date 5?
But everybody
You
have
know what I'm saying?
everybody have a different style of dressing.
But that's what I'm saying. But if it's not for me, it's not for me. I
Exactly.
don't think you see her the way she's carrying herself. You go in, you slap, you did everything, and then now you want to tell her how to be. You can't. I don't think that's.
So
fair.
I have a question.
Brother,
Does the dressing define the individual themselves? It does?
Not always.
Not always.
All right, then. That's so shallow.
But to address what Big Guy just said, that's a total different situation, my brother, where you're just knowing the person and you see that they dress like that and then you want to change them right away. That's not what I'm talking about.
You shouldn't try to change them. Period.
No, you're right, but that's what I'm talking about, because you see that for yourself. But you have to understand when you're in a relationship. So even if you date, and listen to me very carefully, even if you date her for the first a month or two and she dress quote unquote appropriate but sexy from time to time, when this is just on personal experience, when you're in a relationship and your lady put on a sexy dress and it shows quote like even her thong, and you look at her and say, boy, babes, you know what? I'm not too light, I just show up your tongue, you know, but you know what? Maybe if me and you go out, you can wear it. We are in a relationship where we can have the understanding and in difference in terms of what you said now. We're 2 dates, 3 dates, 4 dates, and you're like, I already know such a dress outlandish like that. And you know what? I'm going to try to change her now. That is wrong.
So okay, let me ask you this.
That is wrong.
What if you were, again, same situation, but it's you now? You know, some guys dress and they show their pants is down.
I was about to say
and they
that.
show what if
Oh,
she said,
oh,
what if she said to you, babe, listen, I don't like when you dress like that. Can you pull your pants up?
Of course.
You would be okay with that?
Yes.
Some men can.
Alright, no problem.
Yeah, because a
course.
woman dressed in a feeling is equivalent to that. I was about to say that, actually.
Once you're okay with that, that's fine.
Big guy.
Okay. What?
I agree with you.
Okay.
Go on to the people.
Okay. So next. So I was having this
Well,
conversation.
is it that fucker or is it deep organic?
I think it's organic.
Keke, the fact that he brought it out to the public.
That's fuckery.
Straight fuckery.
Fuckery.
Is it organic?
Phuckery.
Man, like it, man, like
Because Usher sang to her and got her feeling a type of way, so
That's organic.
Phuckery.
Yo, yeah.
That's
The way
organic.
she carrying herself, that's organic. But what he did was fuckery.
Yeah.
What who did Usher? Or the
No.
baby father?
Yeah.
The baby
Okay.
father.
Guy, whatever his name is.
Yeah, who is he?
Usher
think he's a football
stop
player or
singing to
something.
married women. And
She's not married. She's
Yeah.
just a baby mother.
stop singing
to
to
people's
women
woman. Yeah.
who are
Other
not
Usher?
single.
Exactly.
Until someone is married, legally they are single. So put a ring on it.
What?
Yeah, or common law, whatever you want to call it.
No. Anyways.
Where would I call it? If you are not married, you want somebody just a date for however long.
For what? What's the time period? 6 months?
No, it might cost about
'Cause that's
2
common
years.
law.
2 years. So
Common law.
tell me something. When you're common law and say when you separate, but when they live under the same roof and all of that, when you separate, the woman can take half on the things and something. I heard that the other day. Is that true?
I don't know if she can take half, but she has some rights.
Oh,
There's
yeah?
some rights there for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know about the half business, but she has some rights.
No wonder people now get married and common law do it. Anyways, next topic.
That's why you slap and go through.
Jesus Christ.
No, no.
But anyways, so I was in the barbershop, right? And I was having this conversation. It occurred to me the types of things that I don't like, and some of them are trivial, and people are like, and some of them are like, when I was expressing it, I thought it was pretty intense, but the way people were reacting, they're like, "Yo, bro, you're weird," and I'm like, "Am I really weird?" So let me put it to you guys.
Yes. We don't need to just even speak for 10, 20 minutes. Yes. Next topic. Next topic.
That's drawn in the
So I
side.
said,
Yes.
So one of the things I said was, if I'm dating a girl, right? I don't know her from nowhere. Say this is the first time she's come to my house, and she goes to the washroom and take a poo. It's a straight turn off. I'm never talking to her again.
With the bomb. But yes,
Yo, you said that and looked at me with a serious face.
Yeah, I know. Like, what kind of man is this? What kind of man? Are you gonna tell me, say, me is a house dictator, and somebody want to have a natural bowel movement that cleanse out their body? You're gonna talk to them for that?
No, but I don't know you from nowhere.
No, my
You're going up in
Benji.
my washroom and blow it up?
No.
I don't know you from nowhere.
Yo, but what if you guys just came back from the restaurant and the food just didn't
I don't
agree
care.
with their belly?
You gotta say, babe, listen, I'll be back. And
Chris,
go, I don't know,
Chris, do not use stupid ass excuse. We are humans.
Can't blow up my
And
washroom.
that's
I
a
don't know
part
you
of
like that.
our thing as human, to use the washroom to get out what's inside of
Doesn't
us.
matter.
You're weird.
Okay.
And the next one.
Does it matter when she takes the number two? And I know you guys have a thing about number two, but does it matter when she does that? Like, so if she just came to your house versus it's still the first time she came to your house, but it's the next morning, does that matter?
Yeah, it matters.
That
I
matters?
don't know you like that. You blowing up my washroom.
So, what she want to what she do?
Huh?
Well, it's in make it killer.
No, I don't know what she should do, but don't do
So
it.
if you go for your house and you want to
not
wash it,
doing that, no.
what you do?
I'm gonna say, hey,
Should I press
make
that?
an excuse and say, hey, I gotta leave. I'm not going to the washroom.
You know what, say Linky, we shouldn't be surprised because he calls pum pum pokey. So we can't expect
that's
that from
true.
him.
That's
We
true.
can't expect
That's
that from
true.
him.
The next thing is, if we go out and you say you're my girl, right? And we go out and you stop and you talk to a guy for more than 30 seconds and you don't introduce me. That's a problem.
30 seconds?
30 seconds.
Are you
and
counting?
I'm counting. Yeah, 1.
With the mama clock.
I understand the point until he lost me at the counting part. That's nuts.
Huh?
That's
What if it's
nuts.
32 seconds?
You know
Like
what?
stoppage
So a little
time.
bit- so a little bit
Yeah,
too long.
but I know.
It's not, but the point is not the time frame.
Yo, Chris,
The point, on a serious note, the point is not the time
that's a
frame.
32 seconds.
It's the way, it's the interaction.
Yeah, but
It's
all right,
dynamic.
big guy. Let me break it down for you,
Go.
brother. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, take it off first. I'm gonna take your mind off.
No, I was just gonna say, okay. sometimes I don't introduce people because I don't remember the person who I'm talking to's name. And
That's
so
an excuse.
no, well, so let's say me and a girl are together, and I see a next girl, or whether it's a girl or a guy. Sometimes I'll just be like talking, and kind of swerve out of it because I'm like, it's a situation where I probably should remember that person's name, but I don't. And there's a decision in my head, a split-second decision that I'm making in my head where it's like, I will sometimes be like, this is such and such, and I don't say the person's name because I can't remember the person's name. Or sometimes I'll just leave it alone and
And how long are you there for?
I mean, I don't know. I don't.
So you got your girl standing there for 2 minutes. There's the next girl talking to you. She don't know who she is, and you're okay with that.
So if it's 2 minutes, then I'll be like, yeah, this is such and such.
A good while.
But
Let's say a good while.
okay, a good while. Then I'll introduce. But
why wouldn't you just either cut the conversation short because you know you don't remember her name, or say, hey, you
but that's what I said. Sometimes I do that.
Right here. This is my girl. Meet my girl.
But sometimes I do that. So sometimes like how I said I swerve. Like sometimes I do that. Now, is that within or is that inside or outside of 30 seconds? I don't know. But like I know if it's a conversation that I don't want to have for long and I don't remember the person, then I'm just like, yo, let's good seeing you, move on type of thing, right? And sometimes I just do that just because I don't remember the person's name, and I probably should, as I mentioned. So,
I'm with Damion on this one, but you know, you don't have to introduce me, but I'm the intrusive type. So if you're talking to her for too long, I'll come over, I'm ready. Or I'm say, we spend 8 years and probably say, you have 10 more seconds.
What?
No, I've done it before. In a public.
I know.
In a party.
I can tell you're serious.
No, yeah, I'm that type.
I'll lash him out most
I have a next one. So if I go out with you,
wait, hold on. Linky had something to say. What? hold on. You're not getting away. You're not getting away.
Just cut me with me.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Attack him without me.
No, I didn't know. Go ahead.
Brother,
Yes.
you're terrible. You're disgusting.
That's an attack.
Yeah.
I thought you had more to say.
I'm not letting you know you're terrible. You're very terrible.
Okay.
Because I've done that before, and Stacey have done that before, where she's seen, I think we're at the airport, one of her friends that she should go to school and hug her. Oh my God, Stacey, I haven't seen you so long. Blah, blah, blah. What happened to your mom? How is your dad? Oh my God, you still live at the building? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, gotta catch my flight. All right, later. Oh, babes, you know what? That guy was, I used to live, go to school. He was in my elementary school. His name is blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I was in it, blah, blah. Boop. Oh, God. I never take offense to it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
take offense.
Okay. I'm not saying you have to take offense. I'm telling you about me.
What better to say you're wrong?
How am I wrong? I'm taking offense.
No, because I take offense, that means you're right. I'm telling you to get out your feet.
I didn't say I was right.
Guess what? It depends on the body language. It depends on the body language. The body language.
It's not about right or wrong. It's about how I feel.
Get out your feelings.
See, men are supposed to be expressive.
No. Get out your
And
feelings.
I'm expressing myself.
Get out your feelings.
I'm expressing myself.
Get out of
And
it.
I'm telling you, babe, I feel ways.
So
I want to be introduced.
You're so like Spice.
If I'm your man, that's one of the first things. Hey, listen, hey, especially if you used to hit back in the days.
Bro, it's not always about
Damion.
you, bro.
Exactly.
At that moment, it's about me.
No.
Oh yeah.
You introduce your girl to everybody?
If I'm with my girl and I'm talking to the next girl, of course, yeah, this is my girl, such and such.
Really? Oh, that's good.
I'm not gonna stand there and have her just stand there.
Sometimes
That's weird.
it depends on the body language still. Like if my sister, them kind of like women, our intuition usually tell us things. So you probably don't have to tell us that you are involved with the person, but we just.
But it's not even about
really
being
talk.
involved. It's just about not making her feel left out.
Understood.
We're both in this together. We're walking together.
But sometimes medieval that care. I really like for talk to people
Okay,
like that. They have to
this
introduce.
is the next one right here. So the next one is I go out, first date, whatever, and this girl, she orders a beer and she's drinking out of the bottle.
Lock it up. Lock up this. We done.
Just done.
That's a no.
What's
I don't
like
that at all.
is it the fact that she's
Is she
drinking out of
from
the
the beer bottle?
Yeah, I don't like it.
or is it the fact that she's like slurping specifically,
No,
or
it's
just
not
Because she's drinking.
It's not
All she
drinking.
drink is
It's
tush.
drinking from the beer bottle. I want you to. For me, my type of girl would order a beer. That's fine, and then pour it in a glass. That's my type of girl.
what if they don't give her a glass?
She asked for one.
What if there's no glasses?
Then don't order beer.
Chris McCall.
Then don't order.
Then don't order
The
beer.
only way I'll give you a pass
Yo.
is if we're in Jamaica and you're drinking sorrel beer.
Yo.
What if
what?
it's from a can?
That's the only way I
Is
give
it the same thing if it's from a can?
Yes, it's the same thing. We're in a nice restaurant.
Listen,
restaurant.
God.
We go to.
But if you're in a nice
60.
restaurant, they're not gonna give you in a bottle, are they?
But if they do.
No, if you're in a nice restaurant, they pour it in a glass.
Exactly.
If you're at
That's
Blue Bloods,
but if you're in the club,
you're still
in
upping
the-
from a Heineken bottle.
If you're in the club, they're not necessarily
That's a
gonna.
turn-off.
They're not gonna automatically
Listen,
give you a
but I'm
bottle,
just saying,
a
though,
glass.
it's a turn off
I
for
mean,
me, and that's one thing. The next thing is, say we're doing the do, we're doing our thing, and she
What's do?
use certain.
Should I do it?
We're doing the do. I don't want YouTube to block us, bro. You know we gotta be careful.
Hold on.
go back to the first
gotta be
the
careful.
first scenario.
You know-
She's doing the first scenario.
That's what I'm saying. Should I do it? You know?
You know what I mean.
You get it in. You get it in. You poke the pokey.
You're having intercourse.
He's poking the pokey.
Coitus. There you go.
Okay.
Coitus.
Okay.
We're performing coitus. And she says stuff like, pussy cocky in me, or something weird like that. That would completely throw me off. Like I'll immediately be like,
Okay. I can sort of understand that one.
I just don't like. I don't know what if I'm sick, if I'm weird. I just don't like. Those
You
things.
are weird. I mean, if you're
I don't
weird,
like-
you
I
are
don't like
weird.
I can understand that one a little bit, and just because like I used to mess with a girl a long time ago that when she made noises, it sounded like she was a porn star, and it was completely out of character. It was like
What was
her,
the noise
How
that
does
she
a
made?
porn star sound like? What?
like just like overplaying it,
example.
and like
Give an example.
and like her voice changed, like
Give
her
an
voice
example.
her voice
Alright.
changed.
What's your name?
Give me an example.
No.
Like guy.
Give me an
Okay.
example.
The like guy.
No,
I want an
no.
example.
She, okay. Well, I thought you didn't want to get demonetized from YouTube.
It's a sound.
All right. So
What would
she,
you say?
Okay, so imagine she talked like regular or whatever, like
Hi,
no,
Chris, how are you?
yeah, just regular, and then all of a sudden she's like, like her voice went to another octave, and like I got turned off.
But
I got
that
turned
maybe you're doing a
Maybe
good
you're putting it
job.
down.
No, but it, like
Maybe you're putting it down though.
Sure, but like I've never heard that octave of a reaction except for in
Chris,
porn.
brother, you're putting it down.
Except for in porn. I know, I understand that.
probably going
I very often do, but I've never heard
sorry.
that kind of sound before. Like it kind of was weird. It kind of was weird.
But it turned you off, right? Turned you off, right?
It did.
Did she
It
talk?
actually, I wouldn't say it necessarily turned me off per se. It annoyed me. I was just like, ugh. It honestly was like.
Was she saying words? Was she saying?
No, it was just sounds. And you know what? Maybe she had words as well too. I don't remember. But
Was
like
she black or white?
she was Middle Eastern.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
that makes sense. But quick and fast.
Why does
Damion,
why does that make
Damion.
sense? Why does that make
Yes.
sense?
Middle East, more to expect better from them. Like they just look like they're awkward.
Oh my
You know
God.
what?
Coming from a black woman.
You know what? Edit that out. What am I saying to you? Damion, you seem like the type for make love to gospel music.
Where did that come from?
No, because the
Where did that
comment.
come from?
No, the comment you just
Okay,
made.
please don't misunderstand.
Yo.
I'm not a saint.
Yo,
I'm not a
Yo.
saint. What I'm saying to you,
oh, I
have
am under the rock. The rock is. Oh my God, Damien. Yes, baby.
Okay, what I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. I have idiosyncrasies.
All right, you're gonna stop right there. You're gonna stop right there. Like speak English.
That is it.
No, it's not. That is BC before Christ. Like speak English.
So what I'm saying is I have things that are unique to me
Yeah.
that I like. Right? And and some of those things are things that I don't like. And I'm explaining some things to you that it just turns me off for whatever reason.
Big guy, you have to say if the sex brilliant.
And she
the
said
girl's
something like weird like
sexy,
that. I'm not
and
saying
her
it again.
And I something and I poking good. I just say, yo, put your.
I'm not saying it again. But if she says that, it'd be like, oh my God.
But suppose she say it nice and seductive. Still?
No.
Really?
Don't use the word.
That gives you the ick.
So it's
Oh,
the
the C
word.
word. Don't use
Yeah,
the C
it's
word.
that-
So what word could she? What word could she
Put your
substitute for that one?
Please put your penis in me.
Nah, that probably
That's
sounds
even
weird.
worse.
That sounds weird.
Please insert your.
Yo,
Your teeth up.
Your tealies.
You make it sound like the bank machine. Please insert your card in the slot.
But anyway, so I was just that was just like some anecdotes, and I was just thinking.
I could
about
just
them.
imagine the conversation at the shop.
But you know what? This is probably a perfect segue into what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the topic of sex. Should I go first, or you guys want to?
No,
can go
you
first.
go first. 'Cause right now you're for that role.
Huh?
You're on a roll right now.
So a while back, and Chris was talking about in my opinion today. I did a topic called, what is the purpose of sex, right? And I was thinking about it. I'm like, I don't think we. What? What's so funny?
That's a question. Well, go ahead.
What is the purpose of sex?
Go ahead.
And I'm like, do we really know why we have sex? Right? And if you ask the random person on the road, they'll tell you 1, to procreate, and 2, for pleasure, right? Mm-hmm. And really and truly, if those things were true, then we'd be having 10 billion kids in the world, and we'd be we don't need sex for pleasure. We can pleasure ourselves, masturbation, right?
nah,
No,
not
but
everyone
that's what
can
I'm
do
saying.
that.
But if you're going off just the simply the layman expectations, procreation and pleasure, if you're going straight off what people are telling you, you can pleasure yourself. So you don't need sex for that, right? So it made me think, okay, so what else could sex be for? So I'm throwing the question out there for you, to ask you guys what you guys think sex is for. What is the purpose of sex?
Go ahead, Chris.
This is like
Okay.
grade school. You
Yes.
put your hand up.
Yes.
Go ahead, Chris.
Sex is a way to divinely connect with a person that you've either been with for a long time or for that night.
Or
Divinely?
day. Or die.
Yes.
Or
Steph-
day.
If is
Sex
divinely
is
a
divine?
word? Is divinely a word? I don't know.
That is a word.
Sure. Honestly, that's what it is for me. And even if it's like, just the person that you just met that night type of thing, or somebody
Why is
that
it
you've
divine?
been. Because I feel like it's, for me personally, I feel like it's like a way to deeply connect, spiritually connect with a person
Up in there.
in a way that you aren't able to otherwise. Now that's
But
not
that's what I'm asking. Why is it spiritual? Sorry.
why is it spiritual?
Yeah.
Because I think
Because
it's
spirit leaves your body. It goes
It's-
there.
Your spirits are entertaining.
yeah, it's there's a thing that happens there's a thing that happens that I believe anyways, and this is not any sort of religious belief or anything. This is just purely like my personal belief. There's a thing that happens when a man and woman get together, or just, it doesn't even have to be specifically man and woman, but when one body enters into another, and when one body is intimate with another, and it's an exchange of energy. And sex is a specific type of exchange of energy. It's not the only exchange of energy. It's not the only way to connect with somebody spiritually. It's not the only way to connect with somebody intimately. But it is one way to connect with somebody intimately, spiritually, and energetically that also involves the pleasurable aspect of it.
Spit,
so
Chris.
if it was just a matter of pleasure, you're still missing that connection with somebody else, right? So in the masturbation example, but when you're with somebody, you have the connection and the pleasure at the same time, which allows for just a greater spiritual heightenedness, if you will, or spiritual energetic exchange. And that's why, as reckless as probably most of us have been at some point in time in our lives, we need to be careful who we exchange that energy with.
Trust me.
We need to be very careful with who we exchange that energy with.
Because you have soul ties.
What can I do for you?
Why may I tell you myself?
So
Hold on, big guy.
yeah, go ahead.
No, big guy. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That was, ladies and gentlemen, that was the organic explanation of why people have sex, right, brother?
The purpose of sex.
Purpose of sex, right? That was the organic explanation. Let me give you the Phuckery explanation. Listen to me, I love woman. I just love them. And when Tilly Bop rise, surprise.
What?
That's your explanation?
Yeah. And I'm loving it like McDonald's.
You know, that's not really an explanation. You just put a bunch of words together and just like blurted it out. Like they just fell out of your face.
Oh my God.
And hit the mic. I hope they're hitting the mic properly so people can hear what you just
Ali,
said.
what about you? Fix a lax, Ali. Fix a lax. Can't wash this morning.
It's a lot of hair. Isn't it heavy?
Yeah, it is.
That's why it's so big you can't manage it, man.
Anyways, Chris, I agree with you. Everything we say only but things some go through me ears and come through that one else. But I agree with everything we said a while ago.
Okay.
Why do you have sex?
So this is the thing.
D-Sam, why do you have sex?
So this is the thing. And this is what I'm...
And please, don't go too deep.
Why?
So when I was doing some research on this topic, right?
Yeah.
I found something very interesting. One, there was no interesting literature from Africa. None. The only literature you can find on eroticism is through Europe.
Wait, so that's too much of a big word, Linky. I will go on.
It's when them start out the way the Ima
Deep.
get it like, go on, big guy.
Yes.
Go on.
And I'll tell you a reason why I'm getting into it. It's a twin topic.
No,
So
not even from India. You didn't find nothing from India because they have the whole
Kama Sutra, yeah, Kama Sutra. But they don't see, the thing with India is they'll talk about sexual positions and they'll talk about the spirituality of sex, but they won't talk about the eroticism of sex.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And sex is, and this is where I'm going to disagree with you, the spiritual part. But sex as an erotic act, the most literature you can get is from medieval Europe, where I don't know if you guys know this or not, but at one point, any sex you're having that's not missionary is when a man and a woman lay on top of each other, it was called sodomy, and it was actually illegal. You could be killed for it.
I do know that. Yeah.
Right? And I always say
In what
this,
country?
in Europe,
Okay.
right? So because sex was meant to be an act of procreation, and because of religion, because religion ruled the time, people until the Renaissance we never had freedom to express ourselves, which is why literature and all these things are so important, because it allowed you to kind of get into that mindset. But before that, you're supposed to have sex to procreate, which means that you're supposed to have it in a certain position, and the religion dictated how you did it. So anything apart from that was considered sodomy. People still used to do it, but you could be killed. People were burned for that kind of stuff, right? You know, obviously sodomy was also anal sex and all that, but it was a broader category, right? So, coming from Europe all the way up and past the Renaissance period and people being allowed to express themselves, you kind of get into, the debates of why sex happens, right? And most of what Chris said was 100% correct. That's according to the literature. But the part about the spirituality, the metaphysical part, I don't get that part. And this is why I keep asking, why is spiritual? Because the interpersonal connection is why people have sex. Because if it wasn't for the interpersonal connection, sex would be useless, really. Because every other thing that you're going to claim, you could do without sex, right? You can procreate without sex. You can have pleasure without sex. But the reason why we actually do that...
But there's different type of pleasure, my brother.
Huh?
There's different type of pleasure.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if you're saying sex is for pleasure, you don't need sex for that. It's not the only reason why you have it. That's the point I'm making. So the one thing you don't get that the interpersonal connection, that's something that you need to be in that act to have that kind of connection with that person. Now, I thought this was where Chris was going to go with it, because you can't really explain that connection, because most of the time when we talk about something that's spiritual and divine, these are things that are beyond our understanding. You see what I'm saying? And I thought that's where you were going to go with it. So in that sense, I could get it, right? But I'm not going to go metaphysical.
I do think when you're having sex, you're spiritually intertwining with people. Because I believe in soul ties.
Right.
So say you've developed a relationship, maybe sometime not even a relationship, but a certain form of connection with someone. And then it's like you guys are inseparable after that. Oh, no, compatible, But for some reason, something always brings you back. It not have to be sex,
That's
in the
good
done.
sex. You're talking about good sex.
Well,
Because you're using the term sex. Not all sex is like that.
true. Okay. Say phenomenal sex.
Okay.
Because good sex just bleh.
Okay. So
But
phenomenal
yeah.
sex. But the thing about phenomenal sex, I think that's also psychological. Right? I don't think that's a physical thing at all. I think you connect on a level where it's not just penis and vagina. You see what I'm saying? It's more than that. And that's what I'm
it
calling.
depends on how
interpersonal.
the lady make you feel, or you as a man make her feel.
But this can't just be a sexual act.
I have a
this is what I'm
question though.
alluding
Spiritual in a sense where
is.
have you
In
ever
terms
slept
of-
with somebody like slept with like a woman person because you're the man. Slept with a woman and then after that it's either your life like gone to the dogs
Salt.
or then whenever you want to say salt.
to. You think
or
that's possible?
yes. As soon
Yes.
okay, your life could be going so smooth right now.
Right.
And as soon as you and say Diana soul intertwine, all hell broke loose.
I've
Everything
heard
starts
many
happening.
people say that.
No,
but it's true.
we live it. No,
true.
it's no. I believe in that. That's
you
why I
believe
say
that?
it. Yeah, I think it's
What
spiritual.
evidence do you have?
You know, so I
I plead the fifth. Your it bigger than mine. I plead the fifth.
Yeah. So it's that's I think the interpersonal connection it's why we do it, and without even thinking about it, which is why it's important to really connect with someone when you're trying to do this act, because
So connect with someone before you have sex?
no, I'm not saying before, but that connection is important for you to have.
While having sex?
While, before, after, whatever it is, that connection is important because I truly feel like you can even it could be a wasted act. You know what I'm saying? I've done sex. I'm like, oh, why did I even do that? That was a big waste of my time.
Why? The sex was bad?
Not even the sex was bad. It's just like, what was I desiring? You know, I saw the person and I'm like, oh, she's sexy or whatever. I'd hit that, and then I
hit it. How happened?
and then I got to that point, and then afterwards it's like,
Because there was no connection there, brother.
but that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
But sometimes the connection can come after.
But even then,
I maybe that time it was just a one-off.
Because I say that because
You know,
some,
Mika, you're right. You know, sometimes that happens, but sometimes it's not often, but sometimes it's a one-off. If
what?
Meaning that, as way that say, like you see her, just sexy, you say you want to hit that, and then you hit it, like, oh my god.
But this throws a monkey wrench in the whole thing. Sometimes you don't necessarily have a connection with that person, but then you have a connection with them sexually. You see what I'm saying? Only through sex language that you guys can communicate properly. Everything
Yeah.
else is just terrible.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? What does that mean?
It's just sexually connected.
But that throws a monkey wrench in everything that we're saying here.
Why do we have sex?
Interpersonal connection? If that was so great and that was so needed, why is it that we can connect sexually but we can't communicate in any other languages?
Because that is a method of communication.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But then, is the sex the communication language, or is it a part of the communication?
In
You see
that
what I'm saying?
situation, I think the sex is a communication language.
But that's what I'm saying. Is the sex standing on its own? And if it's standing on its own, everything that we're saying here is nonsense.
Well, no,
It's
because
the leader.
yeah,
It's the forefront. It's at the head of it. You know what I mean?
and it could just be the thing where
Yeah, so I think if this whole thing that we're saying, interpersonal connection, all that, I think it turns out to be nonsense if it's true that when people can just communicate and the only language they can communicate well with is a sexual language.
yeah.
But that is a way to be interpersonal with somebody, though, right? Like, that is a way to, even if that's the only way that you can connect. Because, like, I'll take it outside of sex. Some guys can only connect over talking about sports or something like that, and they can't have no other connection, no other, like, their friendship is just based on sports or just based on business or whatever the case may be. So I think it's a similar thing.
Would that be a great connection, though?
I mean, that defines of what that depends on how you define a great connection. Like, maybe you can have a great specific connection,
Maybe have two
but
horny
it's
people who love to talk about sex and they connect for them, right?
yeah, could be that.
But they're not even
Yeah,
talking. Because
Yeah,
whenever
they
they
might
talk,
talk.
they just cuss. But
No, that's-
but the only time they get it proper is when, you know,
And them
Yeah.
talk well.
no, they're not talking.
Of course they're
but
talking.
but it's
Only for
I still think it's there's a connection of energy there that, like, maybe it only lasts for just that, and it It can't extend outside of that. Because, otherwise it's kind of like, well, why are they only engaging with each other? Why don't they just engage with other people type of thing, right? So I think that there is still an energy that is unique to them that they both enjoy to want to continue that.
Right. And it brought me to something Alii just mentioned, and she was saying, a lot of men, they have sex for their personal
Their own pleasure.
yeah, their own pleasure. They don't make women come and all that. And I'm like,
Whoa.
Yeah, they don't. Some of them.
Whoa.
Yeah, because usually the sex ends when the man finish.
Right.
And then the woman is just, she probably have to go use her rose after.
right.
I'm not like that.
And maybe
She's in the garden?
Yeah, she's in the garden.
What's a rose?
Tie.
Oh, it's a name? Oh, they have names?
Yeah, because him done, him roll over, go and sleep, and
So
then
you drop a rose.
left
Why-
the woman.
why not berry? Why is it called rose? And
Because it's a rose. The toy is in a
and it
rose
looks
form.
like a rose?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you have?
No, I don't have toys.
Oh, okay. So,
La-da-dee,
so
da-da-da.
well, the reason why I brought that up is because, would you say then, Chris, that when a man does that kind of stuff, where he doesn't allow the woman to pleasure herself or to be pleasured by him, or to, let's say, finish the session, would you say he's not communicating properly?
It could be that, but so it could be that. And I have to think about that for a second. But the other thing that I missed is that sex is also a power play for a lot of people.
Right.
And that could be a little bit more related to a power play depending on the dynamic of the relationship.
Some more linky type.
Maybe a more linky
Right.
type. Yeah.
What is my type? How do you know my type?
Chris,
What
go
kind of
ahead.
man this man?
But I think some women are so used to that, though.
Which is sad.
Exactly.
It's sad.
No,
Yeah.
but that's life. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No
No.
matter how you put it up and use all different type of words to describe it, that's the thing that.
But you know what?
Where's the thing?
Linky
Where?
type. Linky type. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say too. So Alii, for your situation where,
What's your situation?
no,
She have
that
sex and the man don't make you come?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's
Like,
chicken.
is it a thing where?
I did not say.
Well,
Anyway,
in that
yeah.
hypothetical, in that hypothetical,
Linky.
in that hypothetical,
in general. She's
in
speaking in
that
general.
hypothetical. Now, do you or would you then like talk to the guy and say something about that, and say like, hey, I want to be pleasured too, and so I'm going to also include this because maybe the guy's going soft after that, but then there's other ways that you can be pleasured to finish the session.
When I brought it to his attention, huh?
That's a tough conversation in Jamaica.
No, it was here.
Okay.
No, when I was bringing it to his attention, I basically said like, I can't continue this because you're only doing this for your pleasure and me not getting none, so you have to get cut left. That's basically it, and then nothing after that. Because I feel like some people you can teach, and then some of them just don't improve
Teach
at
them.
all. So you can teach me, you can tell me the things that you like, and I'll attend to your needs, but you have to attend to mine. Whatever that is.
Needs.
Right?
Whatever that is.
Well, maybe something, because you're not going to try every kinky thing.
Needs.
But,
Needs.
yeah.
Needs.
Are you a kinky person?
Needs.
I plead the fifth.
Needs.
Okay.
This is Canada. I don't know if pleading the fifth works
I
here.
know.
I wanted to say that last time you
Really?
said that.
All right, guess what?
It's called,
Am
so
I,
what you're really saying
am I a kinky
you're
person?
pleading the Fifth Amendment.
Which is specific
let-
to the United States
States
Constitution.
Let me answer the question. Kinky,
No.
I would say the things that I like are normal. Some people not going to think it normal, so maybe yes or no.
Okay,
It depends.
And we won't get into those things.
I mean, what are those things?
Well, no.
No. Swerve.
we're not-
Swerve.
no.
Next topic.
Yeah, but I answer that.
So-
Linky, yes, it up.
So I naturally thought, just contemplating the purpose of sex. I think that's a deep thing. I don't think we contemplate it enough. I think if we do it more, men will learn to communicate better.
What?
Amen. Yes,
kind of man this
men need to stop using this head and use this head.
Right. And I think because of that, it's deep.
Whoa. Stick a holy papin.
I say,
Stick a holy papin. Holy papin a stick right now. Where's the man need to start use?
the little head down here, so them for think with the bigger head, not the little head.
So if you use that head there.
No, not this head. Phone the head part on the shoulder.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm big, I agree. All right.
Yes, I agree.
All right.
Whatever you're alluding to,
Right.
I agree
That's
to it.
enough. Stop use that head
This
there.
is
use that
my
head there.
this is my mouth. I didn't bite in no frills.
Oh, you're in your mouth.
I know what you're trying. I know
No,
what you're trying to say.
Rasta.
I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're trying to say.
No.
Whatever you want, however you want to put it.
No, my brother. That's very deep.
However you want to put it. However you want to put it.
Deep. Chris.
Deep. It's in
Stop
the
talking
deep end.
about it.
However you want to put it.
Stop touching with the man.
Yeah, man, go on.
And one day, I think the next topic what we should really talk about, not today maybe, because but you see how he's trying to make it seem like oral sex is not a part of what he does? Jamaican
What
men.
the way the
you
banana
guys
does
need
it?
to-
Hold on.
You guys need to stop it.
Hold on.
Stop
This
it.
bedroom be going there.
Stop
I
it.
mean what
Stop it.
I does.
I didn't say you did.
You just said that while ago.
No, I said you're making it seem like it's not.
But yeah, was oh you owe me.
I never said what you did. I never said what you
See
did.
how he exploded?
You know what?
Exactly. The guilty ones.
No, but macaroni
guilty
and
Wait.
if in my bedroom.
We
guilty
need
one.
to
Macaroni.
make this into a meme. He needs to be a meme. That's a while ago that reaction. It's meme worthy. Please turn him into a
Exactly.
meme.
Thank you. Anyways,
Yeah.
So I don't know, Chris. You have an organic topic?
You
I
know what?
do.
I thought he said
All right.
about orgasm with the collective.
An orgasm topic. This one definitely no.
Nobody's laughing.
This one definitely no.
Girl and
So wait, that topic, deep Organic.Phuckery on a say why it is?
I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
deep.
I thought total pokery.
What?
Yes, it is. Sex we have.
No,
Straight.
you talk. Talk. That's what you do. Talk.
Yeah.
Next topic. The organic topic.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Talkery?
We're good?
that makes sense. Make it
All right, next topic. So I've been watching Godfather of Harlem. You guys,
show.
It's a big show. It's a big show. You watch that show?
Yep.
I've never seen it, but I know about it.
You know about it?
seen it.
Yeah. So the Godfather of Harlem, for those who haven't watched it, it's basically about Bumpy Johnson and the dope dealing in Harlem during the 60s. And one of the things that it does, it depicts the relationship between Bumpy Johnson and Malcolm X. And so just because Malcolm X has been in my mind recently, and because that show is based on a lot of true events, or at least true timelines and dramatized events, I started going back and watching some old Malcolm X videos. I'll pause, like if he gives a speech in the show that happened in real life, I'll pause the show and then go watch that real speech that the real Malcolm X gave. And it had me thinking, is Dr. Umar Johnson our Malcolm X?
No.
All right, let's go in on that. I was wrestling with that thought, and there's obviously the differences. Like a lot of Malcolm X's position was based out of the Nation of Islam and based on the religion of Islam, where Dr. Umar's isn't. But at the core of it it's a very pro and very forceful black message. And I remember this moment in Godfather of Harlem sparked this thought for me, when there was a moment where in the show Malcolm's character crosses paths with some Ku Klux Klan members, and the Klansman was like, you're the same of us. You're the same as us. We just talk about white supremacy, and you talk about black supremacy, right? And I feel like a lot of Dr. Umar Johnson's rhetoric is a black supremacist rhetoric. Right. He'll describe it as Pan-Africanism, which there's elements of it that is definitely, but it was that comment there that kind of really made me link the two of them together and be like, is Dr. Umar Johnson our current Malcolm X? And when I think about social media, because Dr. Umar Johnson does get a lot of pushback on social media, and just because of the way he's coming off on social media. I think, well, what if Malcolm X had social media? Would he get the same pushback? Because he definitely got pushback in his time, and it wasn't until after his death that he got more appreciation. Right. So that's what really prompted my thinking of, is Dr. Umar Johnson our generation Malcolm X?
So the reason why I said no, for one, Malcolm X's approach was needed, right? At the time when he did it, in the 60s, it was needed. It was something that, white supremacists were being overt, right, at the time. They were like, racism was like physical, and racism was something that people, if you walked on the wrong road, they'll kill you, right? Nowadays, it's like that, but not the way it was in the 60s, right? So the way Malcolm X was approaching things was deemed to be necessary, right? And I'm happy you said that part about the way he's coming from the Nation of Islam, right? Which makes a huge difference, right? Because he initially, when he was spewing his rhetorics, it was based on what Elijah Muhammad told him. And then afterwards, when he went to the Mecca, he kind of saw things a little bit differently. But then he died, right? And who knows? He probably would have changed completely, right? Because initially he didn't allow white people to join his crusade. Yeah. And then afterwards he was okay with that, right? So he changed his philosophy based on those things. But the way I saw his approach was more like a religious nationalism approach. It wasn't Pan-Africanist, right? And I don't know if it was a black supremacist approach, because it was necessary. We needed to fight back. People were physically getting hurt. People were dying. Cops would put water hoses on people and dogs on people. And what he was saying just sounded like it made sense. You can't just stand there and have people do that to you. You had to fight back. What Dr. Umar is doing today sometimes just seems like it's an overkill. Like when he went to Jamaica and talked about how he wouldn't respect a black man if he was not with a black woman, kind of thing, right? And he was saying that, all black people need to go back to Africa and all these things, which doesn't make any sense, because Malcolm X's approach was necessary, and it's also more on the religious nationalism side, and Dr. Umar is more on the Pan-Africanist side and black supremacist side of it, which it sounds strange, because nationalists are usually supremacists. When you have a white nationalist, it's always a white supremacist. And the reason why I wouldn't put Malcolm X as a supremacist is because what he was doing was necessary. It was called for. It was practical, right? What Umar is doing, going to Jamaica and telling people that only black people can be with black people, and then try to make it seem like all people should go back to Africa once you have melanin in your skin. It's a little bit weird, because while me personally, I accept that I'm an African person, because majority of my heritage is African. Not all of it is. You see what I'm saying? I have probably some mix up in my heritage. So where does that put that side of me, right? So what if because a lot of Jamaicans, for example, they take the stance that while I'm Jamaican, I don't really, I'm not African, right? And you might disagree with them, but they have a point, because you have a lot of half Chinese, you have a lot of people who are from Syria, a lot of Syrians come to Jamaica, a lot of Indian people come to Jamaica. So where are you gonna put those people, right? So to go to a place like Jamaica and to spew that kind of rhetoric, to me, is very problematic. And then, this is why I don't think he's a Malcolm X type. I think he's more of an attention grabber. This particular thing I'm going to tell you right now. So when Obama won the election, he was traveling in the States. He was at the airport, and he was giving some kind of speech, because he's an Obama hater for some reason. He hates Obama. Thinks Obama it made black people go 10 years back or 50 years back.
Yeah, because he apparently said, predicted that Obama wouldn't do anything for black people,
right.
and he kind of stands on that like he was correct about that.
No, I agree with that part, the Obama part,
we could talk about that too. I disagree, but we could talk about that. So he was in the airport, and he was saying, he was talking about that exact same thing that you're saying. Obama is not going to do anything for black people, blah 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 blah, right? And he was saying, African Americans, remember, we are the #1 black people in the world. So everybody emulates what we do. So we have to lead from the front. And right then and there, I'm like, aha, that's who you are. You are that kind of person who, see, there is a type of imperialist that the British brought, Americans brought, the Portuguese brought, and then there's an imperialist in the tribe, right? And I think a lot of African Americans, they have this imperial mentality that they're the #1 black people in the world and nobody else matters. People from the Caribbean, people from Africa, you have to follow us because we are setting the trend. And he's that type. So to say he's a Malcom X type, Malcom X was more doing it because it was practical, it was necessary. This is what we have to do to get out of this. I want my people to be free. He's more doing it for, I'm trying to find where I can find a space. I'm super intelligent. Let me find a space where I can navigate so people can see me. That's how I see him.
Interesting. So I do see the two. I do see Dr. Umar Johnson being this generation's Malcolm X, and when you talk about Malcolm's rhetoric was necessary at that time, I think Umar's message, maybe not the approach, but message, I think is necessary. Because Umar, what he's talking about is economic violence. Whereas you mentioned Malcolm was talking about physical violence, Umar's talking about economic violence. And the things that through policy, through economics that have set specifically African Americans back. Because I do agree with you on that point that a lot of it is very American centric. And I get annoyed at that. If there is like a major thing of his a message of his that I get annoyed at is the American centric of it. But even, when you look at like him saying, we should all go back to Africa, and I agree with you about that because there's so much mix up,
right?
Especially in Jamaica, like even just a lot of the black people in Jamaica, a lot of them are half British if you go back far enough, right? Never mind the people who have come in after, the Syrians and Indians and East Asians, as you mentioned. But just wanting to have this nation is similar to what Malcolm X was talking about, but within the American landscape, where he wanted black people to have their own state, their own separate thing. He essentially wanted black people to secede from America, right? And have his own thing, which I don't think is that dissimilar from what Dr. Umar is talking about.
Clutch. See, so that clutch comes from Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey started all that.
Yeah.
Right? So every single, and this is why the African Americans will never revere him, right? Because they're taking his clutch. You know what I'm saying? So he started the Black Star Line, and he was doing all that. When you see countries like Ghana who are putting the Black Star in the middle of their flag to pay homage to
Ghana represent
to Marcus Garvey, but the Americans won't do it. You know that there's something wrong. Right, and there's a huge conspiracy that W.E.B. Du Bois was one of the ones who got Marcus Garvey deported from the States. W.E.B. Du Bois was one of the first black educationalists, academia, who are academics who I think he was one of the first black person to teach at Harvard or something, but he was up there, and he hated Marcus Garvey, right, because of that message. And then all of a sudden, when he got deported, everybody started pushing that message, right? So now you have Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, all these guys. Umar Johnson is doing the same thing, but I think for him it's more of a clutch. It's more like, oh, if I say this message, it makes sense for the narrative that I'm pushing, right? There is no way on this earth black supremacism can make sense to anybody because you're just replacing one thing for another, right? Do I want equality? Do I want to be able to do the things without being judged for it, which probably won't ever happen in my lifetime? Of course, yeah. But I don't want to be superior to someone else based on my skin color. I should be superior to someone else based on what I can do, right? I believe in that. So if I'm better skilled than you, I should make more money than you. I believe in that. If you want to call it capitalism, so be it. But not based on the fact that I'm black. And that's what he's pushing. Black people are this and black people are that. Shut up. Like, it's just not the way. And for that, and maybe it's because I don't really rate his rhetoric, which is why I'm saying no to your question. But I don't see him as a Malcom X type, because what has he done? He's talking about the school for 10 years. He hasn't made it yet. I haven't seen one student through that Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, whatever school that he's making. I haven't seen it yet. So what has he done?
We'll see this fall. We'll
Exactly.
see. It's supposed to. The school's supposed to open this fall. We'll see this fall. But
Right.
what do you guys
He
think?
sounds like an empty barrel. You know them say empty barrel make the most noise? He
You see,
sounds like an empty
I don't really
barrel.
like to speak on topics that I don't really have complete knowledge on. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of getting the knowledge from big guy right now, my brother Chris. So, yeah. Deep and Mr. Organic.
But what do you think? What do you think about what we're saying?
Like, I've listened to Umar Johnson and I like him. You know what I mean? I think he's going about it a different way than Malcom X did. You know what I mean? At that time, as big guys say, Malcom X had to fight for us as black people or freedom. So I think what Dr. Umar is doing right now is that we're in a different life right now, like a different type of, what would I put it now? Different type of vibration. We have to go about things differently, but he's still trying to accomplish the same goal that Malcom X was trying for us to stick together. And I think I don't really fully agree with him saying that black men should only date black women.
The
Yeah.
man's militant about that.
But I understand where he's coming from. You know what I mean? I really understand where he's coming from. And he's saying, and I don't know if you heard this one big guy, I must say, I think it was with Kobe's wife. You heard that? What he said?
Of course, the man said you can't love black people if you're not with a black woman.
No, what do you? No, not that part. He said
Which
that
one?
That's crazy.
like after, say for example, we're black. Me, I would date a white woman.
Right.
I will make a bag of money.
Right.
We leave that what we worked hard for.
Right.
That's not gonna go back to the black,
Why should it go to the black community?
because we as we're not black community, but continue to build the black community or black legacy. So for a white woman, she's probably gonna invest that in the white community.
What is Umar
That's what he
Johnson,
said. That's
what
what
is
he
Umar
said.
Johnson doing for black people?
It's coming up with his school. What are you
What?
talking
I have
about?
But what has he done? Like, see,
A lot. That's what I'm saying. I don't like to talk about stuff that I don't really have the complete knowledge on. You know what I mean? I don't
This is
have
what I'm
it.
saying. Why is it that your love for black people is measured through? Okay, so let's say LeBron dies right now, right? And Savannah inherits the money, right? Is he saying that because Savannah is a black woman, then it makes black people better? Because that doesn't make any sense. Savannah is not giving black people the money.
Not better, but
Exactly.
you'll invest more in the black community.
But
Not
because
necessarily.
you're a black person doesn't mean you're going to invest in the black community.
But that's what they're about.
But the chances are higher that you
exactly.
will, and I
Not
think
necessarily, though.
No, the chances are higher. Big.
I think that's what
Yes.
he's.
Yes.
I think that's what he's
That's what he's
banking
wishing for.
on. That's what
That's
he's
what he's wishing
banking
for.
But
on.
I don't even think black people support black people enough.
100% we don't. No.
No.
But to be fair to him, what he's saying is that we should.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
speaking normatively. He's saying, okay, we should be doing these things
Yeah.
because if we do these things, it'd be better for us.
Yeah.
We
So
should,
that's
but
what
we
he's
don't.
preaching. But the reason why I'm not
That's what I'm
receiving
saying, it's
him,
good.
the reason why I'm not receiving him is because while he's saying that, to the next side of his mouth, oh my god, we're getting gay here.
No, we're not.
Linky,
that's
what's
turning
going
into
on,
gay.
man?
Chris, what up, my brother?
What's going on?
I miss you, bro.
So what I'm saying is, while he's saying this on one side of his mouth, he's saying something else. Like you can't love black people if you're in an interracial relationship.
Yeah, if you're interracial
right?
relationship, yeah.
You could be biracial too, no? Interracial relationship.
No, interracial.
Okay. Interracial relationship. So, and I'm like, okay, so are you saying that Maya Angelou don't like black people? Because she's married to a white man.
Yeah, I very much disagree with him for saying that. So I agree with his desire for black people to marry black people. I agree with that desire, but I disagree strongly with him
hard line that
saying,
he's taking.
and him saying if you're not with a black spouse that you do not like black people. I disagree.
That's
with
going
that.
overboard.
That is going overboard.
You know the problem
Yeah,
that I
is
have
going-
with black men saying that they don't like black girls because we're too quote unquote ghetto. So they go
That's
for
an
white
idiot man
women.
who's saying that.
I know. It's a
Why
thing
would
though.
be an idiot man for say that?
We're too ghetto?
To say black girls are too ghetto.
Maybe that's his experience.
How can you're generalizing a whole race?
Exactly.
Based upon
That
his
doesn't make any
experience.
sense. If you were to say something like black girls are too aggressive, right? That's still generalizing a whole race. But I could understand because most black girls that I meet, they have a kind of aggression
And it
to them.
goes back to your experience.
But again, yeah, it goes back to my experience. But again, what I still wouldn't take the plunge or to say the lunge to say all black women are aggressive. But I could understand it because I've met a lot of aggressive black women, right? And a lot of black men do say that. They come home and the arguments that they're in. Maybe if it was a different race, probably wouldn't be that argument. No, I've heard people say that. Real time.
True.
I've heard people say that many times, and I don't know enough about that to say it, but I could understand why they're saying that. But at the same time, I don't believe that the person you date has anything to do with your love for your people.
Exactly.
That's a ridiculous statement, right? And when you're making that kind of statement to me, that's why I'm gonna call you a clout chaser because you're saying things for shock value. Because there's no way you believe that. You're very intelligent. You're a very intelligent man.
Think he's a clout chaser.
You're a very intelligent man. There's no way you're truly believing what you're saying.
But you're an intelligent man, but sometimes you say weird stuff, so that's fine.
But how do you know I'm not saying it for shock value?
Because you're not. You're not that type of person.
How do you know that?
Because I know you.
Okay.
I don't know you?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Because I say stuff for shock value all the
You're
time.
a false pretender.
Huh?
Stop pretending. All right, on that note. Ali, you want to say anything? You have any topic you want to discuss before we wrap up?
No.
Wait.
We still have to go into the fuckery topic.
Where's your topic? What are you doing?
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Chris, that was deep. That was deep. Deep and organic.
Deep and organic.
Quickly, before we get off that topic, I feel like black women being deemed aggressive is like kind of a defense mechanism for us because of how we were raised. Like most of us are raised by single moms,
Excuse.
It's not. It's really not.
Excuse.
You think it's an excuse?
That's a topic. That's a topic.
You
know what?
We have to revisit that topic.
Yeah, we'll go into it next time, but I don't think it's an excuse. I feel like it's valid. Next time.
Next time.
We'll see.
And
We'll see
it
when we
doesn't
get into
only
it.
impact women; it affects men as well.
I can tell you this though. As a black man, I don't see that race should define who you love, but
No.
I love black women. Right? That's my first love. That's what I do. It's just I don't really.
Let's give it up for the black lover.
No, it's true. But at the same time, I don't feel like it's the end all be all. You know what I mean? I feel like if you felt
Would
you
you date
fall
a
in
white
love with
girl?
someone,
Would you date a white girl?
I've dated a white girl before.
Okay.
I didn't really feel as whole as I, dating someone who's
Dr.
of
Umar
color.
called your phone,
Huh?
But you know what? In Dr. Umar's defense on this topic, specifically to what you just said, that's one of the reasons
Yes.
why he says that black people should be with black people, and in that you said you didn't
Which
fully.
is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. The part I have a problem with is saying you don't love black people.
Yeah.
That's a weird statement.
that's bogus.
Disagree with that.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
let me get into my puckery real quick because it was. So it's a quick thing, nothing big, you know what I mean? And big guy could chime in on this, my brother. You know what I mean? Real quick, my brother is back from his Europe tour, and Big Ed is right here to my left. She's ready to chime in. All right. We spoke about this last week on my Instagram live, and I said I couldn't wait to get Big Guy's opinion because you don't have Instagram. So I wanted to chime in on this. Why is it that a lot of females are bashing the guys, saying that there's a lot of waste man out there, blah, blah, blah. Ladies are so proud to be single, so happy to be single. But yet still, these waste men have like 3-4 women. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
So-
that's a good one.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Ooh.
So that was something, and this girl came on my live, and she's from, I think she's from Ghana. And Big Guy wish her on the live. Like, she was so, you know what I mean? And Bob said to her, like, okay, we understand what you're saying. You have your, I think she had a degree or a master's or something, but I'm fine. I don't need a man. Blah, blah, blah. I'm single. So we asked her, I asked her, why are you single? She said the guy that she was with wanted her to be a stay-at-home woman or a stay-at-home wife. And she said about that life. But the big question I'm asking to you guys is that, well, probably Ali, you could kick off this one first. Why is it that females out there are saying that they're okay to be single? And there are a lot of waste men out there, but the waste men have 1, 2, 3 different girls you could choose from.
Funny enough, yesterday I made a post on my Instagram story and it was a quote. It says, "It's easy to say you don't need a man when you've never experienced a man that you needed." And
Bars.
I want to up it on that. Up it on that.
How do you remember that?
because it hit home.
My big guy just sound smart like a dog.
Yeah, and it's also a tongue tire. She
Yes.
said it perfectly.
Yeah.
No, it hit home because I was talking to somebody.
You ever talk to somebody?
Yeah. And you know, when a man is doing the things that he should be doing as a man, you know, it's hard to envision life without him. So it's quick. I don't know why women say, like, if they're in a high position, like, you know, they're making good money and whatever, they feel like they don't need a man. At them time, them I go want a man. Because, you know, you're going to want to start a family. No one wants to be lonely. A man now, on a man's side, when them have their money, they want a lady right beside of them. I don't get it. Me, no. I don't know. To each their own. I not agree with that.
It's the definition of what a man is. That's throwing this off. I think, and Linky said it. You know, waste man. If you're gonna go start off.
What makes him a waste man?
But that's
exactly.
But no,
that's
that's
the
what
point.
the lady said, and he's a waste man.
But that's
How?
what I'm saying. But that's the whole point.
What makes?
But it's the way society have this definition of what a man should be and what a man is. That's what's causing issues. So we talked about toxic masculinity, you know, in a couple episodes back. And if you have certain kinds of traits that you're seeing as you're using to define manhood, then obviously every man's going to be a waste man to you because of the way you're seeing it. And this is why this is a problem with a lot of feminists when they push certain narratives about man and manhood and masculinity and all that. Women get these ideas that men are useless because of those narratives. You know, and we could talk about aggression. We could talk about dominance. We could talk about power. We could talk about all these things. And they make it seem like masculinity are defined by these traits. And if you have that narrative, obviously you're going to think men are stupid. But men are way more than that.
I want to add to that real quick. When women are independent, they find it hard, some of them, from what I see, they find it hard to submit to a man because they feel like they don't need him for anything. But I think that's shallow because you don't only need man for financial support, you need him for other things.
And quite interestingly, when a woman becomes that kind of person, they are described as having masculine traits. Right, which is
also
very hurtful.
I do agree.
Which is also very hurtful for us as men, because the quote that you just gave, what it's really saying is that if a man is the way he's supposed to be, nurturing, caring, and all these things, you know, having both the feminine traits and the masculine traits balanced, then that person is a person that you need in your life.
Amen.
Because that person can add to you as opposed to take away from you.
Right.
The kind of men that these women are talking about, including the person on your live, Linky, the type of person they're talking about is one kind of person, right? And more times or not, when women are saying someone's a waste man, that's an emotional statement. It's not really a statement that's coming from a place of evidence. Because someone is you could be with someone for 6 years, and all of a sudden you guys broke up and he's a waste man. 6 years you're with a waste man? What does that say about you?
Waste girl.
Facts.
What does that say about you?
No printer.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people stick with people longer than they should.
But it says a lot about you.
What does it say?
It does.
All kinds of stuff.
It
And
does.
none of it is good.
But
Big
sometimes
guy's right, 100%.
But I heard a man say the other day that it's cheaper to keep her than to separate because maybe when you build so much already.
Convenience, don't complain about it afterwards.
Well, that makes sense.
I'm saying.
Period. At the end of the sentence.
That makes sense.
So that's why people call people waste man, because It's just an emotional response.
Maybe he doesn't have to do that. Suppose maybe she find out say he's a promiscuous man and maybe that's his waist there. Maybe.
And just to close this off, we have to know the difference between the way we justify what we think we know. So I'm saying there are emotional reasons for things. There's what they call epistemic reasons for things. And more times than not, when people say stuff like, I know this guy's a waste man, those are emotional conversations. Those are emotional statements. And if we really think about it, it shouldn't affect. If someone was to call me a waste man, I'd be like, okay, fine. I know you're mad because I know I'm not a waste man. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing all men should be. When you hear a woman say that, you should know that they're coming from an emotional
But what
place.
if he is though?
Huh? What is a waste man really? And why are you involved with him? It can't be such a waste if you're involved with him. It can't be. You see what I'm saying? You're going to say now, I found out that he's a cheater. I found out he's a liar. Mm-hmm. Okay, but that doesn't define the whole person.
Right.
And as Linky's saying, the same guy has 4 other women. If he's such a waste man, how is he such a gallus? How is he killing things like that?
Funny enough, you don't say the waste man them get the most girl.
But I'm
The waste man them get the most girl.
Again, it's one of two things. Mm-hmm. It's either the girls want waste man or he's not a waste man.
I feel like
can't have it both ways.
Sometimes girls want waste man because the good guys they don't really get.
So if girls want waste man, that means he's not a waste man. He's doing something right.
So big guy, you're a good guy or a bad guy?
Huh?
Are you a good guy or a bad guy?
Depends.
I know.
It depends on who's looking at me.
Chris, what's your take on that, brother?
I agree.
What do you agree with, Chris?
I can't define myself as being good or bad.
Right.
It's for other people to do that. Now I have an idea of myself, but like whether I'm a good or bad person, that's gonna be determined by people mostly who I don't really care too much about. But I mean, that's for them to decide.
Jesus.
Right.
All right.
So Linky, what about you? You know.
I'm a great man. I tell my lady what to wear. Right, big guy?
I'm not involved. Stacey,
remember,
I'm here to support. If you need support, remember. So people, please share.
Like, comment.
Shave.
Comment at the bottom.
Yeah, and shave.
And shave? Oh, subscribe. That's the next one,
And
right?
subscribe and tell us, do you think Dr. Umar Johnson is this generation's Malcom X? Do you think you should be telling your spouse what to wear and what not to wear?
Mm-hmm. And how to wear it. And do you think Jamaican men like girls sitting on their faces?
They do.
And why do you have sex?